From the Bronc TV and radio studios at UTPA in Edinburgh, it's the Bronc Sports Report. What's up, Bronc Nation? I'm Daniel Morales, and today we've got a great sports cast for you. Today we've got all things NFL and a preview of this year's World Series. But first,
it's almost November, and you know what that means. It's basketball season, and new players aren't the only thing that's changed for the UTPA men's basketball team. With new coaches, a new conference, the Western Athletic Conference, the team is gearing up and ready to go. But just because the season hasn't started yet doesn't mean the Broncs haven't started celebrating. Spirit Week started on October 21st, leading up to Bronc Madness on Friday, October 25th to show their support for the team. The season starts on November 2nd and home against Texas A&M Kingsville at 7 p.m. Log on to utpabronx.com for the complete schedule and more information. For Bronc Radio Sports, I am Khadija Sadate.
UFC 166 took place this Saturday, October 19th in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center. This card featured the third fight between heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos. The preliminary fight started online with all 4 fights ending in a finish. After the online preliminaries were over, the televised preliminaries started on Fox Sports 1 and had its fair share of controversial decisions. The main card then kicked off with flyweight John Dodson defeating Daryl Montague with a first-round KO. Gabriel Gonzaga defeated favorite Sean Jordan with another KO in the first round. Gilbert Melendez and Diego Sanchez got Fight of the Night honors with their epic 3-round battle. Daniel Cormier won a 3-round decision over Roy Big Country Nelson. And in the main event, Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez beat Junior Dos Santos with technical KO in the 5th and final round. For Bronc Radio, this is Romeo Villarreal.
Welcome to the Week 8 edition of the Bronc Radio Fantasy Football Minute. Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford has been lights out the last 4 weeks, putting up over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Stafford's success should continue against the Dallas Cowboys, who have scored 14 touchdown passes and third most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Packers running back Eddie Lacy has been on fire over the last 2 weeks, scoring close to 30 fantasy points over the last 2 games. Lacy should continue to thrive against the Minnesota Vikings, who have surrendered an average of 23 fantasy points per game to opposing tailbacks. That is the most in the NFL. Cowboys wideout Terrence Williams has a solid start this week. Williams has scored a touchdown in 3 consecutive games. Williams is a fantastic matchup this week, going up against the Detroit Lions, who have surrendered the 6th most fantasy points to receivers this season. Redskins tight end Jordan Reed has been hot as of late, scoring the 2nd most fantasy points among tight ends over the last 2 weeks. Reed's success should continue in Denver, where he'll be facing a Broncos team that surrendered an average of 10 fantasy points per game to opposing tight ends this season. That'll do it for me this week. For Bronc Radio Sports, I am Javi Guerrero.
A lot of entertaining games this week. Here comes NFL Wrap-Up number 7. This week kicked off in Arizona with the Cardinals and Seahawks. Russell Wilson had a big game with 235 yards and 3 TDs. Seattle soars to 6-1 and wins it 34-22. The Lions took on the Bengals. Both offenses had a big day, with Calvin Megatron Johnson with 155 yards and 2 scores, while AJ Inspector Gadget Green also had 155 yards and TD. Both Stafford and Dalton had 3 TDs and threw for more than 350 yards. Cincinnati pulled it out against Detroit in the final seconds, winning it 27-24. Buffalo went up against Miami. Tannehill doing everything he can to stop Miami's losing streak. He threw for 194 yards, 3 TDs, and 2 picks. The Bills pulled it out in the close one, winning it 23-21. Miami falls to 3-3 after starting 3-0. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Bucs still looking to get their first win. Vincent Jackson doing his part with 10 grabs for 138 yards and 2 TDs. Matt Ryan looked to be in complete control of this game, throwing 20 of 26 for 273 yards and 3 TDs. The Falcons improved to 2-4, winning at 31-23. Ravens and Steelers, a very slow physical game in this one. Steelers looking to get their second win. Flacco threw for 215 yards and a TD. Pittsburgh takes it over the defending champs 19-6. Packers and Browns, Green Bay playing after all the wide receiver woes. It didn't seem to affect Rodgers. He threw for 260 yards and 3 scores. The Pack lost another piece with Jermichael Finley leading the game. Green Bay breezed through Cleveland 31-13. Chargers and Jags, Jacksonville still looking to get their first W. They wouldn't get in this weekend, with San Diego winning at 24-6. St. Louis at Carolina. The Rams came out swinging in this one. Literally, defensive end Chris Long was ejected for throwing a punch, and the Rams went on to lose this one 15-30. San Francisco went to Tennessee. The 49ers were in complete control from start to finish. Kaepernick ran one in for a score, and the San Francisco 49ers improved to 5-2, winning it 31-17. Vikings and Giants, both teams desperate for a win. Josh Freeman made his first start for Minnesota. Eli Manning threw for 200 yards and a score. The Giants get their first win, 23-7. Washington faced off against Chicago. It was a close one throughout. Bad news Bears, Jay Cutler left the game early with a groin injury. But good news Bears, Devin Hester tied primetime Deion Sanders' NFL record for punt return touchdowns with 19. 18. The bad news kept coming as RG3 looked comfortable and Roy Helu ran in 3 scores. Redskins topped Chicago 45-41. Pats and Jets, Geno Smith had a TD passing and he ran one in. Brady, with his top target Gronkowski back for his first game, he had 8 catches for 114 yards. This one was close throughout and went into overtime. A very odd situation for the Pats after Nick Folk missed a 56-yard attempt. A newly instituted rule gave the Jets a 30-27 win. Houston and Chiefs, the Texans gave Case Keenum the start after Schaub went down last week. It was nothing but bad for the Texans after Arian Foster and Brian Cushing went down in this one. The Texans did, however, give the undefeated Chiefs a scare, but Kansas City pulled it out though, taking the W 17-16. Dallas went up against the Eagles without DeMarcus Ware for the first time since he's been on the team. The Eagles struggled to get anything going. Foles left the game and rookie Matt Barkley came in and threw 3 picks. Romo threw for 317 yards and a TD. Cowboys topped the Eagles 17-3. One of the most anticipated games of the season, Manning's undefeated Broncos facing his former Colts in Indianapolis. Manning was under pressure all night with the Colts D getting 4 sacks on him, but Manning still had a good night with 386 yards and 3 TDs and a pick, while Peyton's predecessor Luck had 228 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 score on his feet. Manning tried to bring back the Broncos late in the 4th, but couldn't quite get it. The Broncos' 17 regular season game win streak was snapped with the Colts winning it 39-33. From Bronc Radio Sports, I'm David Sullivan.
Come join the 3rd Annual Wellness Retreat on Saturday, November the 2nd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the RAC. For more information, call 665-7808 or visit their website, utpa.edu/wellness.
Pink football, pink gloves, pink penalty flags, pink Madden football, and even pink helmets. What is with pink football? Well, the National Football League is supporting National Breast Cancer Awareness Month by using the color pink. Our own UTPA Broncs are getting into the spirit too. UTPA varsity cheerleader Michelle Guetta spoke about the preparations.
Well, today, UTPA, tonight, we're having the volleyball game. And for that, it's titled the Pink Out Game. That's what we're titling it. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a special presentation for breast cancer. They're going to probably introduce some survivors, people who have passed away from breast cancer. It's going to be a big thing.
She also commented about her own family cancer concerns.
I think it is extremely important for personal reasons as well as just to celebrate it. I know my grandma on both sides, and recently my aunt got diagnosed with breast cancer, so it's really important to celebrate it, at least for me.
Get out and support the Broncs in fighting breast cancer. For the Bronc Radio Sports Report, I am Fred Mann.
Want to be a reporter or a radio DJ? You want to be part of Bronc Radio TV. Join us every Thursday at 12 p.m. at the LERC 122 next to the Library Auditorium for Bronc Radio meetings. For Bronc TV, come by every other week on Fridays after a weekly live newscast from 12:45 p.m. Remember, a voice is a terrible thing to waste, so come by and join us at Bronc Radio TV.
The Division of Information Technology is a proud supporter of Bronc Radio. A portion of today's programming is underwritten by the Division of IT to support this all-student radio station. The Division of IT offers Bronc Mail, Bronc Print, Bronc Software, and other various services. The IT support desk is located at the Academic Services Building and is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Technical support is also available at 665-2020, and more information is online at www.utpa.edu/IT.
Every year begins the same. 30 teams head to spring training with a dream to win it all. To get there, they have to get through the dog days of summer, and now only 2 teams remain. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox both finished the season with the best records in baseball. Both teams have won the World Series twice in the last 10 years, and now they have one thing left to do: win it all.
Breeze hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night.
The St. Louis Cardinals are led by veteran pitcher and catcher Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, as they will try to lead the Redbirds to the franchise's 11th championship.
Bases loaded. 2 out. Hard hit into right. Back at the wall. Tie game! Big Papi!
The Boston Red Sox are led by Big Papi David Ortiz and the pitching staff that is lights out. Who will win? Be sure to tune in to Foxhole this week to find out. For Bronc Radio Sports, I'm Yuri Koinukai.
Well, that's it for this week's Bronc Sports Report. I would like to thank radio station manager Khadija Zarate, news director Ivan Herrera, and all the radio station staff. And as always, be sure to support your UTP athletics. Go Broncs!